structure. So the regional structure means that how the company will target the audience, how the company will target the specific areas, which kind of age group the company is going to target. If they have to target the young girls, if they have to target the 30 mid-age women, what kind of people they are going to target. So this is the regional organizational structure, that how the company will going to target their customers from specific regions. For example, we take the example of McDonald's. McDonald's divides its operations in different countries, like in United States, like in France, in Japan, or anywhere. Because McDonald's also have different branches in different areas of cities and also different areas of different countries. They have, because their business, they expand their business and take their business to the foreign countries too. So first of all, they target United States, they target the lead markets, they target the higher growth markets. Higher growth market means the markets, the companies who are going to earn the profit on a large level. Each segment has its own team who manages everything there. Like McDonald's have different management team. The team is based on chairman, the team is based on the director, the chairman, the floor manager, the order taker, the people who are taking the orders from the clients. When we enter the McDonald's, we see on the counter first that the order takers are standing there. You go to them and ask them that this is our order, please give us the order. So they will write your order, give you the receipt, and ask you to wait on the waiting area. You will go wait on the area and take your meal when it is ready. They didn't treat you like a five-star hotel or like some other hotels. You have to take your meal by yourself. So this is regional structure based on that how the company is going to target the customers, which audience they are going to target, and which market they are going to target. Whether they are going to target the higher market areas or lower market areas, it will totally depend on the organization. Any questions you have?
No, ma'am.
Okay, moving on towards next slide, remote office. Remote office means, in simple words, remote office means work from home.
Sorry, ma'am. Can you repeat again?
Remote offices means that you are working in the office, but not physically you go there and start working there. Work from home.
Work from home.
Remote offices means that you have to work from home. Sometimes they gives you the environment where employees operate from outside. Like if I live in Pakistan and I work with, for example, McDonald's or KFC. Say for instance KFC, I'm working there as HR manager, and the branch is in United States, the branch is in Japan. It is not possible for me to go to Japan and then start doing job there. So they will allow me that you will start working remotely. You will start working from home. And yes, some offices will allow you to start work from home if it is not feasible for you to go there. So we'll just say to you that work from home and start doing work for us on this project. The basically structure support the advanced communications, the technologies they have, they will allow the employees to stay connected with them, and also the their productive work regardless of their physical location. For example, if my office, say for instance my office is in Japan, or my office is in Geneva, my office is in Syria, my office is in any other country, my office is, it is not possible for me to go there and start working in that office. They will allow me that you will start working remotely from home, but your time is flexible. You have to work For example, 5 hours or 6 hours, it is compulsory for you that you have to work for 5 to 6 hours. Like in Pakistan, it is compulsory for every person to work 8 hours. Some organization have time like 9 to 5, like 9 to 6, or some starts your work very late, like different offices. For example, consultancy office starts work earlier, but if they have different work, for example, insurance companies, say for example, instance, I give you an example of insurance companies. The work, for example, starts from their time is 11 to 8 or 11 to 7. But as far as the other countries are concerned, they give you 5 to 6 hours. This is your flexible time, and the time basically depends on their timing. Like if you talk about the United States, their time is 5 hours. The different There's a difference of 5 hours between the United States and Pakistan time. So they said that this is our timing. You have to match our timing and then start working on it. Like for example, if it is now the time here in Pakistan is 9:41, and for example if the time is 7:41 or 6:41 or 5:41, so they said that this is a time you have to start work on that time, 6 hours working day. We have
Even ma'am, even I'm sorry to interrupt you in the middle. Even we have even our classes also in a different timing.
yes, of
I mean,
course.
timings are almost same. Like we're having classes from different. Suppose, ma'am, you're living in Pakistan. We're living in Saudi Arabia. Some other students are living in Bahrain, from Bangladesh. So many different time. You can say like time is different actually.
Yes,
Suppose
of
for you
course.
it's like almost night, and for us just now started like it's our 7 p.m. like almost 8 p.m. now. So the time. This is how the timing is,
Yes, of course.
like how you guys do, like how you people do the work here.
Yes, of course. So basically, this is the remote work you are
Hmm.
doing. Like, this is a class you are taking remotely. But if you are working in some other countries, so the timing is different. If we talk about the France, it has different time. If we talk about India, it has different time. If we talk about
Hmm.
Geneva or Iraq, it has different time. So if people want to do work remotely from home for other countries, so they have different time scenario, and you have to match their time with you. So it is possible for you to work on their time. Yes, of course, sometimes it is very difficult to match the time because of the time duration, because of the hours duration. Okay, now example is that GitLab. GitLab basically is a lab. It has no physical headquarters at all. Like headquarters means head offices. If we are working in Pakistan, for example, if I'm working in a consultancy company, its head office is in Rawalpindi. The insurance company head office is in Lahore, but the office is in the Gangaram, near Gangaram, sorry, near Gangaram, beside the board office. So this company has no physical head office. All employees work from home. So this is how people work globally through their different time zones. For example, if my time is, for example, in morning 9, and at USA or at, for example, France, there it is the daytime in USA. It is the daytime in France. It is the daytime in Japan. For example, if the timing is, for example, 8 p.m. and I have a time of 9 p.m. So I have to wait when their 9 p.m. will, when the clock said that it is the 9 p.m. So I will match their time and then start my work on different time zones. Everyone live in different countries, so they have different time zones, they have different criteria of timing, they have different hours of timing. So this is how the remote work for offices will do all over the world. Any confusion?
No, ma'am. This is I understood.
Okay, so now tell me, what do you think about the remote office work, and also give an example on it, just in 3 to 4 lines.
Remote offices is like basically a work from home, which is known as like division. It's a part of business that operates from a location from the different areas, which allows companies to expand their reach and serve different markets without having to scale up their main office. Like you don't have to travel from any other country. You can do your meeting, you can work on your own time schedule. There's no hassle for reporting from one place to another. You can easily everything go through remotely. Like is if I say like remote offices is basically a non-centralized location structure which supports advanced communication and collaboration technologies, which feels productive, which can lead to increased job satisfaction. Different time scenario. Sometimes it's quite difficult to manage time, work globally through different time zones, different hours of timing. Because different countries have different timings, and even our work hours is also different. Even as a student, also having a different timing, because some students even work, as well as they're also like having classes. So obviously, it will be quite hard for it will be quite difficult to manage their timings and all.
Yes, very good. So now moving on towards the next slide, dotted line reporting. So dotted line reporting is the part of the organizational structure. It shows the relationship, secondary reporting relationship, and it is basically represented by the dotted line in the organizational charts. So employees,
Ma'am, ma'am, can you explain again? I didn't understand.
okay, I'll explain you. Dotted line reporting shows the reporting relationship, that how you will report the senior manager, how will you report the managing director of the organization regarding any kind of task, regarding any kind of stuff he has given to you. I'll explain you this in simple words. Dotted line reporting means that the employees have to report to one more person apart from the direct manager. Like if you have to directly report to the manager, so before reporting the manager, you have to report to, for example, to the coordinator, for example, to the journal manager. One person is involved in this reporting. When they are going to manage regarding this, it is not difficult for employee to report or do the work. It is not difficult for the employee to do the work or to report to the different people. He just report directly to the manager and one other more person, whether the one other more person is working on, for example, as a on a designation of journal manager or as a designation of a coordinator. He just report to director and one other person. The one other person is whether on which designation he is working, it doesn't creates any difference. So when the people are start reporting these two people, it doesn't create any burden on the employees. This is because the managers whom they are reporting to, they control their performance evaluation. Performance evaluation means they start evaluating their performances, that monitoring their performances. In simple words, they start monitoring their performances, how the performance of the employee is, whether he needs any training or whether he needs any improvement in his work or not. And also this includes the promotions of the employees. This includes other things too, like performance appraisals, like promotions, the performance valuation, and much more things involved in it. In the dotted reporting line, two persons are involved. The first one is the direct reporting to the director, and the other person is whether on which designation the person is working, whether he is working on the position of coordinator, on the position of executive director, journal manager, or what kind of position he or she has. It doesn't create any burden for the employee. No workload for employee in this situation, in this regard. So employees will work on different projects. Employees will work on different departments, and different departments on different projects. Like if you are working on one marketing project, I am working on finance project, Ali is working on say for instance HR project. It didn't create the communication gap. It didn't create the workload for the employees. In simple words, this is known as a dotted line reporting. Now,
Ma'am, it's only secondary or primary also. It's only
no,
in
no, it's only
secondary.
just secondary, not primary.
Oh, not primary. Okay.
Not primary, just secondary. because the two people are involved in it, so it is just based on secondary, not primary. Primary level is the other level. Here it just talk about the secondary reporting to the manager and the one more other person. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So explain me in 3 to 4 lines, what do you think about the dotted line reporting?
The dotted line reporting shows the reporting relationship regarding any kinds of tasks, which is employees have to report one person to managers. So dotted line reporting in an organizational structure refers to the secondary reporting only, which is like a management structure when employee reports managers, which is like performance evaluation. While the secondary manager sees the specific projects, tasks, or responsibilities that which requires the expertise, and which this structure basically shows for better performances, specified skills, flexibility, and for enhanced collaboration of the project. And ma'am, one more thing, it is also often used for matrix structure because it's for the multiple layers of it's a multiple layers of projects, the multiple layers of departments, sorry,
Yes, very
which
good.
is used for that,
Yes,
like dotted line reporting. Yeah.
yes, very good. Now, Arizona, this is for you. This is your new specification.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the now we are on the 1M1, like we are on the merit based point, and it contains the implications for effectiveness of communication. When we talk about the organizational structure, it basically involves different things like the communication effectiveness, how your flow of information is, what is your decision making process, and how your organization is going to be succeed. In flat organizational structure, our first thing is also is that fewer gatekeepers. Now, fewer gatekeeper in simple words, these are the employees who handles the administrative responsibilities for executive members. In simple words, fewer gatekeepers are those people who handle the administrative responsibilities for the executive and the members. Executive means the people who are working as executives, the people who are working as sales executive, the people who are working as HR executive or finance executive. These are the people who handles these administrative responsibilities. There are a lot of administrative responsibilities like reporting involves in it, how you handle the problems of the clients if you are working in the consultancy firm. If you are working in simple university or college, they have different administrative processes, they have different administrative responsibilities. Their administrative responsibilities includes different things, like every organization has different administrative responsibilities. If you talk about the insurance companies, they have different administrative policies and responsibilities. The administrator is responsible for different things. The administrative is responsible for updating the Excel sheets. He is responsible for taking the response from the clients regarding their services. So this is how these few things are involved in it. And yes, it makes the communication flow very easily. Whether we talk about internal or external communication flow, it makes the communication flow is very easy. And it basically there are not there is not the communication gap involved in it, a very low hurdle of the communication between the employees, because they are already working as they are already monitoring the administrative responsibilities, so there is no hurdle in any kind of process or any kind of things they are facing. Internal and external communication flows more freely but can be uncontrolled. Without your clearing your reporting lines, it is not possible for you to manage your things. If you are not properly connected to the person who is giving you the directions, it is not possible for you to get the desired success. It is very difficult for you to manage the things, and sometimes the miscommunication occurs between these two things. For example, if director asks you that you have to work on the marketing project. And CEO said, no, you have to work on the Excel sheets. Give me the report after you work on it. Now you are just thinking that what should I do now? Whether I work on the Excel sheets or whether I work on the marketing project. This creates some miscommunication between the two people. So always clear towards the instructions you are receiving from the top management. Otherwise, it is very difficult for you to manage both things, the marketing project or the Excel sheets. Excel sheets take a lot of time. When you start completing them, it takes a lot of time to complete. So if you have enough time, then you start working on it. Otherwise, discuss it with your managing director and then start the work. Otherwise, it will create a big problem for you, and also it creates a miscommunication between the work and your top management. Any questions regarding this?
Yes, ma'am. Fewer gatekeepers once again.
Gatekeepers means the people who are responsible. The fewer gatekeeper means the employees who handles the administrative responsibilities. The people who are working in the admin department, they have different responsibilities. For example, they have the responsibility of taking feedback from the employees regarding their services. They have the responsibility to message the clients regarding their services. They have the responsibility to gather the data from the employees. They have the responsibility to check and balance the cash, etc. If any person is working in the admin department or in the admin department, yes, admission manager is also the part of the admin department. Finance manager is also the part of the admin department. So if these two people are working on these things, so it means that they are responsible for a lot of things. For example, they are responsible to manage the budget. They are responsible to transfer the salaries of the employees. They are responsible to give the finance to different projects. This is basically the people who are working for the people to manage their admin activities, to manage their admin duties, so that it is easy for the employee to take or to spend time on other things if they have different tasks. So they it is easy for the people to manage the other things if someone is looking on your job to complete the responsibility. Any questions?
No, ma'am. I understood.
Okay, fine. So moving on towards slide, I'll ask you the questions after completing this slide. Now
Okay,
we
ma'am.
talk about the functional structure. Ambiguity means no difficulty. In functional structures, your reporting line is your reporting line means that you have to report just one person. Your role is defined and you just have to report one and two persons, not more than one or two persons. So sometimes if your role is defined to you, but you have the confusion in this, that now to whom you are going to report, whether the director or whether the CEO. So in this case, you have to report the two persons, first of all, the CEO and the managing director. And then your role is defined. For example, if you are working as a division manager, this is your role. It will reduce your confusion that what post I have hired on. It will reduce your confusion, it will reduce your difficulty for doing the work. So everyone knows that this is the JD's, this is the responsibility, and he or she have to complete the responsibility in the given time period. For example, if I am a content writer and my responsibility, for example, is to write the articles. My responsibility is to writing the SOP. So this is my responsibility, and I have to directly report to the managing director. I have directly report to, for example, CEO. So I have faced no difficulty in this regard because my reporting line is clear that I have to report to the managing director, and my role is clear to me that I am content writer and this is my work. Other than the content writing, I have not enough time to report on to do work on other things. Sorry, like I have not time to work on the post for social media. I have not the workload for it. I just have the workload in which the expertise I have. Strict reporting lines. Sometimes you have to follow the communications. Communication follows basically different channels, which can slow down your reporting structure, and also it limit your job description. It limit the time flexibility. For example, if you are working in the organization and two people give you tasks, one person said that this is the social media post you have to work on, and the other people said no, you have to gather the data. The data is for 2023 until now. You have to gather the 1 year data and report me that how much students we have right now, how much students are applied for visa, how much students have the visas are rejected, and the reason, and also give make a chart of it, make a bar diagram or anything else. I need this report until 5 p.m. So this means that there is very strict reporting line. You are very fed up of it. Sometimes when we give the favor out of the box to the people, it is very difficult for you to give the report of that thing. If, for example, your work is just calling and you are start posting things on social media, you are start working on Facebook, you are start working on the Instagram page, so this means that it is not your job description. It will slow down your decision making process. So you then start thinking, what should I do now? I'm fed up of that. One of my colleague is working with me. She starts fed up with the job because she is working on social media post too, and she is working as a graphic designer too. So the reporting line is very strict. She has to give report to the CEO and she has to give report to the managing director. This is very difficult for the person to work with two persons at a time, because when you are working with two people, they have different thoughts, they have different minds, they have different opinions, and they have different ideas. So sometimes when reporting line is different, you are just confused at what to do on the next step. Now, crisis management means that sometimes the situation is very difficult for you. If you have a clear line of authority, if you have a clear line of reporting, then it is possible for you to change your decision, otherwise not. If you have to report just one person, then it is possible for you to do the work. If you have to report 2 to 3 persons at a time, it is not possible for you to do the work, because everyone has different ideas according to their point of view. Any confusion in this regard?
Ma'am, can you explain it again, the crisis management ones?
The crisis management. Okay, I'll explain you in simple words so that it is easy for you to
Yes,
understand.
simple ones. Yeah, just simple.
Okay, in simple words, crisis management is the organization's process and strategy based approach for identifying and responding to the event. For example, the event can be defined as a threat or any kind of incident that occurs with the potential impact of the organizations, with the people, party, or the business process. In simple words, the crisis management basically is based on the organization's process and strategy for identifying and responding to the critical event. Now, the critical event is based on different things, like for example, any kind of a threat the company is going to, for example, any kind of threat the company is going to have. For example, if the rivals of the company said, this is the project you are working on, give us a project, we'll do it better. So they start threatening the employees of the organization. Then god forbid any incident occurs, god forbid any incident that is not in your hand, that is a natural incident, god forbid any kind of short circuit, or some other thing happens, this is not your fault. So This is how the critical management is defined as. Now you will get the point. For example, if we take an example of an oil company, and oil company has a plan in place to deal with the responsibility of an oil spill. If such disaster occurs, this means that the spill means oil spill. Oil spill means that the oil starts falling from the bottle. The oil, the petrol, or the oil companies, we take an example of the petrol too, that if the petrol starts falling on the ground, it creates, petrol has a very bad smell. So it creates a very negative impact on you. So then what?
Yes.
It if the petrol falls on the ground, so now you have to pay to clean that petrol, because when people will start moving on the road, because we as employees, we used to travel on the private transport, like public transport, they have like autos or like chinchis or these things. And if you sudden have a feet on your on the petrol where the petrol has been fallen, so you have just a negative vibe for that. You said, oh god, what is this? Now I have to wash my feet. The smell comes from you, because petrol has a very bad smell. So they have to give the person the money to clean that, and also they have the expectations that the petrol should be clean in the reasonable manner, in the economical cost. It will exceed their expectations. This is how the crisis start arising between the authorities. Like, if a person asks me that this is your duty, that you have to, or in other terms you may say that the crisis management refers to the organization's response to a critical event or crisis. The critical event can be the any kind of god forbid incident, or any kind of natural disasters, or any threat that negatively impact the employees, the stakeholders who are working with you, or any brand's reputation. This is known as the crisis management. The crisis management refers to the organization's response to a critical event or the crisis. The event should be based on the natural disaster. Natural disaster means floods, like earthquakes, like floods, or for example, if the COVID-19, just like COVID-19 is also the natural disaster for the people. We never know about this, and sudden there is a lockdown in that time period. So this is also the part of the natural crisis. Now clear?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Okay.